Hi, thanks for joining RMU IT training. My name is Kevin, and today we'll be talking about forms within Google Drive. One of the more unique and useful types of documents in Drive is the form. It allows you to create surveys easily, and then results from that survey will be shown on a spreadsheet and or graphically. So to create a new form, we're going to click on the red Create button on the top left, and then click on Form. You'll be prompted to choose a theme and a title for your form. We'll call this a sample form, and then we're going to choose one of these default forms. We'll do Espresso, and I'll press OK. And the next thing we're going to do is choose the response destination, or where the responses will go. If you look on the top right here, it says choose response destination. We'll click on that, and then the default will be create a new spreadsheet with the responses. You can also put a new sheet in an existing spreadsheet, or you can keep the responses only in the form. You can only see the results graphically. This way you can't have a spreadsheet. I like to create that new spreadsheet, so I'll press create, and it'll set up that spreadsheet right now. There's some form settings we can go over. Right here at the top it says form settings. The two that we have right now are to require Robert Morris University people to log in to view this form. I like to do that when we send out surveys to people here at RMU. And then we can automatically collect the respondents' names or their usernames or their email addresses. We'll click that. And then now we can start editing our form. The title of our form is sample form. It's the same as we named earlier. You can change this if you want. We'll call this coffee pickup form, and then you can add a description right here. We're going to say what kind of coffee do you want, and then we can start editing the questions. There's going to be one sample question here to start. So we're going to talk about the different types of questions now. I'm going to go ahead and delete this question. We'll add them one at a time. At the end of your survey, it says add item. We're going to do that. We're going to click on the little downward facing arrow, and we're going to look at all the different questions. We're going to look at the basic ones first. Text is going to be any kind of question that requires someone to enter a short text, like what's your name? And then you'll press done. If you like, you can put help text here, and then you can make this a required question or not. This is pretty important information. We'll press required. Press done, and now we have that question. The next is paragraph text. It's going to be basically the same thing as text, except they have more room to type. So we could ask a longer question like, what department are you from? That's not really a long enough question, but if they have a couple of departments, they can enter that more there. Make this a required question. Press done. We're going to add another item, multiple choice. This allows you to put a multiple choice question that they're allowed to choose one answer from. So we're going to ask, what size coffee do you want? And then we're going to add the three options here, small, medium, and then large. We'll make this a required question. Press done. The next option is checkboxes. This is similar to multiple choice, except people can choose more options. We're going to ask, what extras do you want for your coffee? We're going to put the options in, maybe creamer, sugar substitute, and then other toppings. Instead of pressing other toppings, we actually, on the right here, add other, and this will allow people to put in any answer we want. And if I want to get rid of one of these answers I inputted, I'll press this little X to the right of it. So now we have cream of sugar substitute, and then they can input an question if they'd like. If they don't want any of this, I'm not going to make it a required question. I'll press done. The next is choose from a list. This is similar to multiple choice, except instead of picking one of the options by clicking in the circle here, They're just going to choose from a drop-down list menu. We're going to ask, what kind of coffee do you want? And we're just going to give them two basic options here. We're going to do decaf or just regular. And then press done. And then those are the basic questions that we can have on our forms. Some of the more advanced ones include scale. This is basically just a numerical rating system. You can put a scale of 1 to 5. You can label 1 being least favorable, and then 5 being most favorable. And then you can ask a question like, how hot do you like your coffee? And then instead of putting least favorable and most favorable, we can put cooler and scalding as the two options. They can pick between that range. We'll press done. And then we can do a grid. A grid is very similar to a scale we use, except you can put multiple columns and rows. And for this, we can talk about the different types of coffees we have. How do you like each of the coffees? And then I can do different rows and labels. Maybe row 1 will be French roast. We can do row 2 as Brazilian. And then for a third option, we could put Colombian. And then we'll have labels on here. Labels act as the rating scale. We can put 1 as not at all. And then we can just put 2, 3, 4. Then 5 is the most. Press done. And now we see these options right here. The next type of question is a date. You can basically just ask what day they'd like it to happen. What day would you like your coffee? We can put a month, day, and year. And then you can also include a time, so they can put the time that they want their coffee. Press done. And then the last type of question is time. It's similar to the date question, except it's only related to time. What time would you like your coffee? And they can put that time, hour, minute, AM, PM, or you can put a duration, so how long they would like that option. And then we'll press done. And then at the top here, we see view live form. If we click on that, it's going to show us what the form looks like. We can scroll through it, see if it looks like what we want it to look like. We can see all the options. We can see these. They can pick a date from a calendar, or they just type it in. And then they have the option to send a copy of responses to themselves. Close out that form, and we're going to look at a few more options. After they press submit on the form, they get a confirmation page. You can edit the response they see. Right now it says your response has been recorded. You can say, thanks for your coffee order, for this example. And then there's 3 options here. Show link to submit another response. If they want to submit another response, you'll allow that to happen. Publish and show link to the results of this form to all respondents. If you do this, all the people that respond will be able to see all the answers from anyone. If you have confidential information on these forms, you should not have this option clicked. And then allow responders to edit responses after submitting. So if someone maybe made a mistake or needs to change their order, if they still have this open, they can go ahead and change their responses. You can press send form here at the bottom once you're done with it. And then it will give you a link to share. You can just copy that link there. You can click on any of these 3 options. You can share this survey via Google+, Facebook, or Twitter, or you can send it to someone via an email. So I'm just going to copy this link here, if it allows me. Copy. Press done. And I'm just going to send this to my friend Sean. I know he wants some coffee. I'll just send it as a link in a chat. and I'll ask him, hey Sean, can you fill out the survey for me? And we'll go check on our results once he finishes that survey. And to do that, we'll go back to our drive, and we're going to find that sample form responses. This is going to be the spreadsheet. So we're going to click on that. And now that we went into that form, we can see that he's entered it twice. We see he collected his username, his name, what department he's from, what size coffee, the extras. All these questions are answered. See, he likes all coffee. He likes it the most. And then when he'd like his coffee. So we can see his answers went into this form. If we go back into the form itself and click on responses, another way to get to the spreadsheet is click view responses. And to see these responses graphically, we're going to click on summary of responses, and it's going to bring up this right here. We can see all the answers that were in here. We can see there's bar graphs, pie charts, all these different things. Just an easier way to see all the results. Thanks for joining RMU IT training. My name is Kevin, and today we talked about using forms within Google Drive.